me again. It's a blast from the past, a blast from the past. What has changed and what's the same? Well, we'll soon find out in this blast from the past, from the past, a blast from the past. What has changed and what's the same? Well, we'll soon find out in this blast from the past. Blast from the past.
Well, I don't know why you two looking so glum. Still last week at school, then you have the whole of the summer holidays to look forward to.
If anyone should be down in the dumps, it's your mum and me. We'll have you two under our feet for 6 weeks. In fact, I think I'll write to the school suggesting they cut the holidays down to a fortnight, just to stop you spoiling our summer.
Dad, stop teasing.
So James, Alex, why have you got faces like a wet weekend?
Well, Gran, we just don't see why we need to go to school for this last week. There are 3 people in our class going on holiday early, 1 to Disney World and the other 2 to Centre Parks.
They get an extra week of holiday. We're still stuck in school. It's not fair.
But don't you usually take it easy in the last week? Didn't you tell me that our parties, your school trip, DVDs to watch, and even a non-school uniform day to look forward to?
Big deal, Grandpa. Being able to wear a hoodie instead of a school jumper is hardly the same as going to Disney World.
Well, it would have been a big deal in mine and your grandpa's day. You should have seen what we had to wear as uniform. Hats, ties, blazers, pleated grey skirts.
Grandpa's skirt. Now that I'd like to have seen.
Ha ha, very funny. The girls wore the skirt, silly. It was shorts for us boys even in the winter. We had to wait until secondary school before we were even allowed to go near a pair of long trousers.
Well, was that the same for you two?
Not quite. Your father and I went to primary school back in the 70s. Things were a bit more casual back then, I suppose.
But when I think about the truly horrific clothes we did wear though, I'd rather put up with the blazer tie shorts combination Grandpa had to go to school in.
So you two count yourselves lucky that you go to school nowadays, when what you wear is a little more flattering.
You up, girlfriend? Don't you just look fabulous?
Oh, just a little something I threw on. But hey, how about you? That outfit is so out there. Who says pink and gold don't go together?
Absolutely. But enough about me. Tell this lot why we're here.
Okay, everyone, we've got a little catwalk show for you in which we'll be taking a fashion trip back through time to show you the outfits that the most on-trend small kids have worn over the past 150 years and how we got some gorgeous threads lined up today. So let's get things moving as we head back to the late 1800s. Bring on the models!
Now, most Victorian kids had little education, if any. Those that did attend school will come straight from work. Check out this cool cat, like it's always flattering to the figure. See how skinny he looks? The cut of trousers and the bare feet say, I'm a casual guy. The city face hides any unsightly pimples, and the brush is the perfect accessory.
And how about this young lady on her way to local dame school straight from a 16-hour shift at the mill? The grubby pinafore and bonnet combos, classic and timeless, accentuating that wave look. Accessorised with a bloodstained sling after she lost 2 fingers in a spinning jenny, this outfit says, I'm ready to recite my times tables. Gorgeous. Okay, let's skip forward to the 1940s.
With his cat worn at a jaunty angle, his school tie hanging loosely from his whitish shirt. This young chap is setting the trend for his wartime classmates. That tank top is ahead of its time, and his classic grey shorts are cut exquisitely from coarse, itchy material. The grubby knees say, "I'm a man of action in the playground," and the gas mask accessory gives him some real village chic.
And what about this itch girl? The grey ankle socks highlight her grubby knees with perfection too, meaning she's much of an action icon as any boy, but the feminine lines of her grey skirt show she's still very much a lady. The hair is worn pinned back as hot water and shampoo is in short supply. Her gas mask box can double as a handbag in which she can keep one of her mother's lipsticks ready to be applied at playtime before that all-important game of kiss chase. Stunning.
Forward to the 1970s, this cool nylon tracksuit is designed to be figure hugging. Not only is it fabulous for everyday wear in the classroom, but it also means that this chap is always ready for an impromptu PE lesson. The stripes down the arm and the outside legs say, "I'm streaks ahead of the fashion sakes, catch me if you can." On the downside, however, similar tracksuits are sometimes worn by middle-aged male teachers who often forget that the tightness of the cut can highlight their expanding waistlines.
This groovy customer is an epitome of hip. The pattern and colour of that wing-collared blouse is designed to confuse and disorientate a teacher, enabling her to get away with even the flimsiest of excuses for not doing her homework. And those fab-flared dungaree jeans aren't only at the cutting edge of style, but they're practical too. On those gusty days in the playground, they can double as a fashionable windbreak, in which this young lady and all her friends can shelter behind until the bell rings. Fabulous.
And now we're bang up to date. This is what the discerning modern schoolboy and schoolgirl are wearing in the new millennium. And how can we best describe it? Boring.
Utterly boring. Where's all the fun? Where's that splash of something that says, "I'm cool at school"? Nowhere. That's where. So you two, go on and get changed while we try and bring a bit of glamour back to this catwalk. Go on, off you go.
But don't worry, everyone. We still have something fabulously fabulous up our sleeve. The most glam garment to ever grace a schoolgirl's frame. This one's just for the ladies, but you guys will appreciate it too.
It's sadly fallen out of favour over the past few decades, but it's something all those gorgeous grands and yummy mums will remember wearing with glee. Both robust, yet feminine, putting these on made going to school an absolute pleasure.
This garment's a dual function, meant that whether you're swinging on the apparatus in PE or sitting for long periods on your classroom chair, you can do it with confidence and with style.
So for those of you who remember owning a pair, or for those who've only ever dreamed of wearing more substantial underwear, we've brought them back.
Making returns to the catwalk, and we hope to your wardrobes too, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for those fabulous, those gorgeous, those glamorous navy blue knickers.
In days of old, when kids were bold and used a fountain pen, they'd carry a smart leather satchel to school and home again. From under the pleats of grey fabric that made up their school uniform, there came forth one infamous garment, and it took the nation by storm. Let's hear it for navy blue knickers, a fashion icon from the past, a must-have for those with impeccable taste, glamorous and made to last. Step Chanel. And let's hear it for navy blue knickers, loved by every mademoiselle. Let's hear it for navy blue knickers, a fashion icon from the past, a must-have for those with impeccable taste, glamorous and made to last. Step aside, Vivienne Westwood, eat your heart out, Coco Chanel. And let's hear it for navy blue knickers, loved by every mademoiselle.
I don't think I'd fancy wearing those things.
Oh, they weren't so bad. Though I suppose blue nylon isn't the best thing to make underwear out of. I could see why they're not around these days.
Do you know what? I think I've got something that might interest you two. Back in a moment.
Where's Dad going? I hope he's not digging out a pair of smelly old school socks. Something worse. I'm really not that interested.
There. I knew I still had it. A photo of my whole school from 1979. Just look at what we were wearing.
Well, Dad, it's a very wide photo. And so up close, too. How did they fit everyone in?
Oh, they had special cameras for taking whole school photos in those days. Genius they were.
The children line up, usually one behind the other in 3 or 4 rows. The front row would sit on the ground. The second row would sit in chairs with the teachers in the middle. The third row would stand up, and the back row would stand on chairs.
Yes, and then the camera would be pointed at one end of the line, and it'd start taking the photo. Then it would slowly turn and carry on taking the photo along the line until it had reached the other end. The whole photo took quite a few seconds to take, especially if it was a big school and a long line.
But the best thing was, if you stood at the end of the line where the camera started, once it had photographed you, you could quickly run around the back, stand at the other end of the line, and be photographed again when the camera got there. Brilliant. And if you look closely, there I am, and there I am again, just there.
Wow, that sounds like loads of fun. Much better than having a school photo taken these days.
Right, children, please sit down quietly while I have a quick word with the photographer. I want this over and done with as quickly as possible so we can get back to our maths test.
I hate school photograph day. Just look at my hair. I never wear a side parting, but my mum insisted. I look like a prize idiot.
Well, my mum woke me up at 5 o'clock this morning with the curling tongs plugged in and ready to go. If she wants me to look good, well, it's kind of backfired. Got bags under my eyes with a lack of sleep. That's nothing. All this week, my mum's had me in front of the mirror for an hour every evening practicing my smile. Not too wide or you'll look cheesy. Not too tight-lipped or you'll look mean, honestly. Well, my mum hid my glasses to stop me from wearing them in the photo. She says she didn't, but I know she's lying. I bet you by lunchtime she had brought them into school, claiming to have found them down the back of the sofa.
Well, look at this. Have you ever seen anything so ridiculous? A bow tie. All I need is a red nose and I could join the circus. My mum said I was looking too pale this morning, so she spent 15 minutes at the school gates pinching me on the cheeks. I'm in agony and probably look like I've gone through 10 rounds with a heavyweight boxer.
Well, my parents didn't know it was school photograph day. I forgot to give them the letter. I'm the only kid in school who got to have fun at break. I had the climbing frame all to myself, while you lot had to stand there not getting messed up, and I won't get in trouble for falling off face first into the mud. Cool.
Well, at least none of you look like you should be sitting on top of the wedding cake. Look at this dress. My mum's really gone to town on me. I think I'm wearing the entire contents of her makeup bag. She wants to give all the family a copy of this photo to show them what it was she said. Show them what a lovely young baby I'm turning into.
Right, children, the photographer's ready. First one, hurry up.
Now that's a face only a mother could love. Okay, say cheese.
Cheese.
Great. Next. What's this? Night of the Living Dead? You look beautiful. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Great. Next. Well, they say the camera never lies, which means there's a terrible truth about to be told here. Okay, say cheese.
Cheese.
What the? This is an expensive camera. You'll break the lens putting a face like that. At least try to look normal. Perfect. Hold that look. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Perfect. Next. This way. This way. That's it. Getting warmer. No, colder. There you go. Okay, say cheese.
Cheese.
No, this way. This way. That'll do.
Cheese.
Next. His parents obviously have a sense of humour. Nice dicky boat, very trendy. Say cheese. Perfect. Next. Come on now, let's see that pretty face. No need to be shy. Wow, the glow coming off those cheeks is something else. No need to flash on this one. Say cheese. Great. Next. Good of you to dress up for the occasion and to wash your face. Mind you, with a face like that, it's better off covered with mud. Say, okay, say cheese.
Cheese.
Perfect. Next. Does someone think it's Halloween? She'll be asking me for a trick or treat next. Either that or she's in pantomime. Okay, Widow Tranky, now speak smart for me. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Great. There, all done.
Actually, I was hoping for a hot glass shot if that's all right.
Come on, everyone, let's get sorted. I feel like a wildlife photographer. Being sent to some remote part of the world to take photos of the weird wildlife that's mutated and evolved, cut off from the influence of mankind. Come on, you lot. With your biggest smiles, say cheese.
Cheese.
There, all finished. And if that shot doesn't land me a job with David Attenborough, nothing will.
Well, I had a bath last night and scrubbed from head to toe. My mum has pinched me on either cheek to give me a rosy glow. What's the special occasion? What's with all this fuss? Well, I heard my teacher say someone's in school today to take photographs of us. They'll tell me sit still and smile. Look straight ahead and say cheese. Uncross your eyes and put your tongue in, please. Well, yes, you got a face only a mother could love, and hair in the strangest style. But we'll get away with it if you can only sit still for a second and try your best to smile. Friends are snapped ahead of me, and as I wait my turn, I try to practice my brightest smile, but all I can do is gurn. Mum gave me strict instructions not to pull a face, 'cause this photo's gonna be on view for all to see above our fireplace. She told me, sit still and smile, look straight ahead and say cheese, uncross your eyes and put your tongue in please. Well, yes, you've got a face only a mother could love, and hair in the strangest style, but we'll get away with it if you can only sit still for a second and try your best to smile. My photographs arrived at last, and I can rest at ease. I'm confident that it's good enough to grace the mantelpiece. But Mum's had a better idea where to put it on display. She's gonna fix it straight onto the garden gate to frighten burglars away. I really should have taken note and listened when they said to me, sit still and smile, look straight ahead and say cheese, uncross your eyes and put your tongue in please. Well, yes, you got a face only a mother could love, and hair in the strangest style, but we'll get away with it if you could only sit still for a second and try your best to sit still and smile. Look straight ahead and say cheese, uncross your eyes and put your tongue in please. Well, yes, you got a face only your mother could love, your hair in the strangest style, but we'll get away with it if you can only sit still for a second and try your best to smile.
Whoa, Dad! Look at the teachers. They've all got the same hairstyle and clothes. Who's that one in the middle?
That's the headmistress, as they used to be called. She was fearsome.
Oh, I remember her. We were called to see her on more than one occasion to discuss your behaviour. The incident with the glue and the toilet seat springs to mind.
Oh, Mum, I told you at the time that was just a misunderstanding.
Was Dad a really naughty boy at school then?
Just high spirits is how the headmistress described it. She was actually a very nice lady. Nothing like the headmaster I had at school.
Well, they did do things slightly differently in your day. Head teachers were a very different breed back then.
You don't say.
I must say, first day, I'm tremendously excited. First day of head teacher training, I can't wait.
Me too. Just look at all the things we're going to learn how to do.
Well, I'm particularly looking forward to how to give a medicine scale session. I find my scary face tends to amuse children rather than scare them.
It's a reading a list of announcements to a full assembly hall with a voice of authority workshop I can't wait for.
I think my favourite's going to be this one. 10 different ways to say, your son, Mr. Jones is an ideal waste of space, needs to learn some self-discipline. Seminar, that will be very useful.
Well, you don't have to wait any longer. Here come the instructors.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome to your training session for new headmasters.
It's head teachers. There are ladies in attendance.
Ladies? You mean women? Good gracious, who'd have thought it? Whatever will they come up with next? Well, in that case, good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies.
Now, the purpose of this session is to equip you all with the necessary skills to become efficient head teachers and run your schools with a firm hand.
Firstly, there has been a change to today's timetable. All sessions are being replaced with one single workshop based on an area of head teaching which we believe is at the very root of doing the job well.
So nothing about how to give a menacing scowl or learning how to give announcements in assembly?
I'm afraid not. Those things should come to you naturally and can't really be taught. Now, what we'll be concentrating on today is a skill that will be your most useful weapon while fighting ill discipline amongst the pupils. If you could fetch the tools of the trade.
Take that and that, you little scallywag. That will teach you to let down my bicycle tyres.
Please, all in good time. Now, if you can form a line with sufficient swing space between each of you, we'll begin with the basics. Firstly, the grip. Grasp the cane at the base with about an inch to spare. That's right. Now, leave it quite loose in the hand. If you hold it too tightly, you won't get that lovely whip on contact.
That feels great. Power at the fingertips.
Now the stance. Follow our lead, please. When batting in cricket, the optimum stance is sideways on, like this. That's right. Good. This position allows for a full swing and ensures a fuller contact.
Write read things about me on the desks, would you, huh? Or take that, you juvenile delinquent.
Not yet. Now the phrase. You must learn off by heart the traditional phrase open to any child receiving the punishment. Do any of you know it, by the way?
Oh, yes, I do. What was it? Something about it not really hurting?
Well, you're in the right area. All of you, please repeat after me the following words which must be said before contact is made. This is going to hurt me much more than it's going to hurt you. Your turn.
This is going to hurt me much more than it's going to hurt you.
Which is, of course, complete balderdash, but we're obliged to say it anyway. Now the swing preparation. For particularly naughty scamps, a combined run-up in the swing is recommended. Now, raise the cane to a 45-degree angle. Thus. Now for the finale. Swiftly stride towards the subject, bringing the cane down using the full leverage of the elbow and shoulder. Thus. Of course, you should use your professional judgment as to how many times you repeat this maneuver. They're tough little urchins, most of them, and can take 3 or 4 hefty swipes.
Is it true that some of the sneaky ones stuff books or thick comics down the back of their hands to cushion the blow?
That's right. Some of them don't play by the rules, so make sure you give them a prod beforehand to see if they are cheating. If they are, remove the padding and give them an extra couple of swipes for good measure.
So is that it? Is all the training over?
Not quite. You must practice this a few times before we can assess you and give you your certificates. So, if you could fetch the subject. Three paces back and say the phrase.
This is going to hurt me much more than it's going to hurt you.
Prepare to administer this punishment.
Legend tells of a mythical age, cloaked in a fog of confusion. When little scamps who couldn't behave were sure of a clip round the ear. But if you stepped too far out of line, there'd be severe retribution from a weapon of such cunning designs, which filled you with dread and with fear. It's the swish of the bamboo and the crack of the cane, by which so many bottoms have been blessed. And you swear you'll never be this naughty again, as the head teacher's giving you 6 of the best. Tales are told of many brave hearts who suffered this humiliation, taking flak on their posterior parts, unable to sit down for weeks. Yet we hear that some took a stand in the face of this cruel flagellation, stuffing books down the back of their pants, protecting their delicate cheeks. It's the swish of the bamboo and the crack of the cane, by which so many bottoms have been blessed. And you swear you'll never be this naughty again, as the head teacher's giving you 6 of the best. Swish of the bamboo and the crack of the cane, by which so many bottoms have been blessed. And you swear you'll never be this naughty again, as the head teacher's giving you 6 of the best.
So, Mum, Dad, did you ever get caned at school?
No, I was very well behaved. I'm not sure about your dad. Anyway, when we were at school, the cane was falling out of fashion. It was still used now and again, but the naughty kids would mostly get a good telling off.
I do remember being constantly told off for not drinking my free school milk. I hated it, so I would always accidentally tip over the bottle to spill it.
Your milk was free and came in bottles? How weird. We get ours in cartons.
Yes. In our day, it was a small bottle, a miniature version of the full-size ones. I was milk monitor, which was the top job you could have at school. It was my purpose to hand out the bottles and the straws and collect in the empties. I had a badge too.
So don't you guys get fruit or veg for your playtime snack nowadays? As well as your milk?
Yes, but I don't understand why we can't just take crisps or sweets out.
Because they're not healthy, silly. That's why free school milk was introduced in 1946, and I was one of the first children to get it. Back then, I didn't think it would in fact be good for me.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Miss.
Now, before we start our arithmetic test, I must tell you about something new that's happening today. You'll notice I brought in bottles of milk tin with me, and there'll be a fresh bottle every day provided free of charge until you leave school for good.
I hate milk. It tastes horrible. You know why, don't you? Because of where it comes from.
Out of a cow, isn't it? Don't they just pull its tail and it kind of pulls out the back end? How revolting.
It comes out of the cow's back end. You mean they don't just make it and put it into the bottles?
Dear oh dear, I can see our knowledge of food production and nutrition is slightly lacking.
Perhaps we should forget about the arithmetic test and get you lot up to the speed of a few basic facts.
So if it doesn't come from a cow, miss, then where does it come from?
No, it does come from a cow, just not from the back end. Milk comes from the cow's udders.
It's what? Udders? What are udders?
Oh, that's another name for the horns, isn't it? They twist the horns and milk comes out.
No, silly. The udders are the pink dangly things that hang underneath.
That's right. Oh, I don't know what's so funny. The farmer sits beside the cow on a stool and pulls the udders so the milk comes out. Silence! Thank you. Now we've established where it comes from, let's consider a few basic facts about milk. Please open up your exercise books and note down the following points. Firstly, point 1. Milk is a good source of calcium. C-A-L-C-I-U-M. Calcium. Write that down, please. Point 2. Milk gives us the essential vitamins A and D. Write that down, please. Point 3. Milk is... Finally, point 177. Milk helps prevent osteoporosis in later life. O-S-T-E-O-P-O-R-O-S-I-S. Osteoporosis.
Never mind osteo whatever, I've lost the will to live. How long have we been waiting for? It must nearly be lunchtime. With all this learning about milk, we've not actually got around to drinking any.
Dear oh dear, it's that time. We must get this milk distributed. I need two volunteers to take on a very special role, which will make you the envy of all your classmates. Yes, you two. Please hand out a bottle of the straws, everyone.
I thought milk was a liquid. Yes. Look. Point 4. Milk is a liquid. So why is this milk a solid? This. We need spoons, not straws.
Yes. It does appear to have been left standing a little long. Not to worry, because this opens up a whole new learning opportunity for us. I can tell you about all the health benefits of a close cousin to milk. Yogurt.
Yogurt?
Now, yogurt, a portion of which you have in front of you is known to have many healthy properties. Write that down, please. Point 1. Yogurt is a good source of calcium.
Once upon a time, someone had a hunch. So kids should get a treat between their breakfast and lunch. And so it came to pass they were provided for with a bottle of the white stuff and a drinking straw. Then it was decreed by the powers that be that all the nation's children needed vitamin C. And so it came to pass they were provided for with a bit of plate on fruit and veg on which you know.
Drink your milk and eat your fruits. It'll give you stronger bones and keep your brain astute. For a healthy set of lashes and hair like silk. Well, you better eat your fruit and you better drink your milk.
Yes, we must admit it's not a bad idea, but we've a better one that you might like to hear. For a morning snack to keep us on the go, why not give us fizzy drinks and Haribo?
But that is wishful thinking. All we're guaranteed to hear is drink your milk
to keep your brain astute, for a healthy set of lashes and hair like silk. Well, you better eat your fruit and you better drink your milk and eat your fruit. It'll give you stronger bones and keep your brain astute, for a healthy set of lashes and hair like silk. Well, you better eat your fruit and you better drink your milk. Drink your milk.
Gosh, is that the time? You two need to go to sleep. It's way past your bedtime. We've been chatting for ages.
Do we have to go to bed? I'm really enjoying finding out about what school used to be like in the olden days.
I wish you wouldn't call it that. It makes us sound ancient. Wasn't that long ago?
Gran, will you read me a bedtime story, please? I'm in the middle of the last Harry Potter book, but it's so much more exciting when someone reads it to me.
Of course I will, but you'll have to explain what's going on in the story. I don't really know a lot about Harry Potter.
It's Harry Potter, Gran. I thought everyone knew who he was.
Well, children's books have changed so much since we were little. When we were younger, it was the Phase 5, The Adventures of Biggles.
Or Grimm's Fairy Tales and Melody Towers.
And when we were little and learning to read at school, we used the Janet and John or the Peter and Jane books, which are a bit different to the ones they use now.
Janet and John, I remember them well.
Janet and John are brothers and sisters. Janet and John play happily like all brothers and sisters. Janet and John never argue.
John is a boy, so he plays with a toy car. Janet is a girl, so she plays with a dolly. One day, Janet wants to play with a toy car.
John, may I play with your toy car?
Asks Janet.
I'm sorry, Janet.
Replies John.
But no, you're a girl. A girl must not play with a toy car. A girl must play with a dolly.
Janet agrees with John.
That is correct, John. A girl must not play with a toy car. What was I thinking?
Janet and John live with their mother and father. This is Father. Father works hard all day. Father likes to read his newspaper in peace and quiet when he gets home from work.
Good evening, Janet. Good evening, John.
Says Father.
You are playing with your toys very quietly. You are good children. Father, please will you play dollies with me?
Asks Janet.
No, Janet.
Replies Father.
I cannot play dollies with you. Ask Mother if she'll play dollies with you once she has made dinner.
This is Janet and John's mother. Mother doesn't work. Mother only cooks, cleans, looks after the family and runs the house, like all mothers.
Janet, John, Father.
Says Mother.
Dinner will be ready in 10 minutes.
Mother, please will you play dollies with me after dinner?
But Janet,
Says Mother.
after dinner you must help me wash the dishes while John and Father play ball in the garden.
Of course, Mother.
Says Janet.
I forgot. After dinner, I'll help you do the dishes. I'll help you wash the dishes too, Mother.
Replies John.
Father is not happy. Father is angry.
God!
Shouts Father.
The kitchen is no place for boy. You are a naughty boy. You must go to your room without any dinner.
John is upset. John gets angry. John sees the cat asleep on the mat. John kicks the cat. He runs to his room, muttering under his breath how much he hates Father.
Hate Father, hate Father, hate Father, hate Father.
John is having a tantrum.
Boys will be boys. Read your newspaper, Father, while Janet lays the table and I will tend to cooks if I can find them. Then I will serve dinner.
So her father in his armchair reading his paper, Mother and Janet in the kitchen where they belong, and John upstairs gouging the eyes at a photograph of Father with his penknife. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye.
He learns to read, succeeding on the whole. Different schemes are used to guide our kids towards this goal. To are still held in high regard. recitations. Janet and John, Peter and Jane taught us to read and taught us again. Time to remember with fondness and joy. Pink for a girl and blue for a boy. Books were themed and used keywords repeated through and through. So traditional, no offence, and very proper too. Girls all seem to cook and clean and stay at home with mommy. Boys help daddy and play ball today, that seems quite funny. Janet and John, Peter and Jane taught us to read and taught us again. Time to remember with fondness and joy. Pink for a girl and blue for a boy. Tales that served us very well came from a bygone age. Scintillating sentences graced every single page. Here is a cat, Jane likes the cat, but Peter does not sadly. That was that, the cat must flat, they don't all end so badly. Janet and John, Peter and Jane taught us to read and taught us again. Time to remember with fondness and joy. Pink for a girl and blue for a boy. Janet and John, Peter and Jane taught us to read and taught us again. Time to remember with fondness and joy. Pink for a girl and blue for a boy.
Wow, all this talk has made me wish I was your age again. Going to school without a care in the world. Well, except from the fear of getting caned or being made to drink milk that's gone off, that is.
You know what? After hearing all this tonight, I don't think school's pretty bad after all.
Me too. Does this mean you're happy to go in for your last week then? You wouldn't rather be at Disney World or Centre Parks?
Definitely not. I wouldn't want to miss it for the world. I suppose there are going to be some really fun things to do. I guess, in fact, I better decide what I'll be wearing for non-school uniform day. I've got to look cool.
That's the spirit. You know you remember your primary school days for a long, long time. Just like your grandpa and I do. It's a very special part of your lives.
And saying a proper goodbye to it all is very important too. You'll never have days like those again.
Oh, now I'm sad. I don't want to leave at all.
Me neither.
That's understandable, but it's all a part of growing up and moving on. You'll have to do it one time or another. The thing is to hold on to all those happy memories, and when you think of primary school, you'll have a smile on your face.
I guess you're right. As always. But how do you guys always end up being so wise?
That's easy. It's because we're older.
We could try to hold back time and enjoy what's secure and familiar. We'd all like to stem the tide and hold on to what we know. Well, that's understandable. Just look at what surrounds us. One big family with loving arms around us. All growing means never standing still. We've got to keep moving. But I promise you this, I never will forget the time I spent with you. I guess we could easily